best local sports show in Jacksonville. This is Action Sports Jax Prime Time.
It's just not the right time for me. Who knows, maybe in the future, but I think it's I watched the show though. The show was great. I think they did a great job.
You talking about Action Sports Jax Prime Time?
I don't think so.
Oh. Scratch our guy from the hit Netflix series Quarterback, at least not this season. Maybe one day in the future, but Trevor Lawrence focused on just football for now. He was asked to do it and declined. Meanwhile, this might be a perfect time to announce we have signed on to Sports Anchor, a documentary on Netflix coming soon.
I can't wait. It's going to be outstanding. A
You're
lot
the
of
star.
behind-the-scenes stuff that you've never seen before.
Some dirt coming to
Hey,
Netflix.
Dan, wake up. Huh?
Hello and welcome to Action Sports Jax Prime Time. Hicken and Martineau, and it's game week. Yeah, preseason
Technically,
game.
yeah.
The Jags at Dallas in just 6 days. We got some football coming.
It's preseason style, but hey, it's a start, and there are only 3 of them now. So this week we'll do our best to figure out the rotation, just how much the starters will play, if at all. But earlier today we had practice in pads. Players hit a grueling 3-day stretch of football. Got to push through the camp mentally right now, right? It's hot, steamy.
It's a long one, too. Longest practice so far. A little easier for the quarterback, probably. His great comfort level. Same coaches for the second straight season, Dan, which means the same verbiage. Already shown an unbelievable maturity around the media. We knew that from day one.
Yeah, been part of the Jacksonville community for more than 2 years now and has his most talented group around him, one that could translate into a top 5 offense, a potential star receiver in Calvin Ridley, and all that coming off a terrific second half of the season 1 year ago when the Jags rallied to the AFC South crown.
So many different situations we've seen. It's nice to be able to lean on those when you come out, for your second camp in this system, to lean on some. You can go back to week 14 last year and remember checking this play against this team and this coverage, and so the call comes up again and you see the same thing. It's like, all right, you remember when we did this, and you can just get to it quick. That's so valuable when you think about an offense, and just being able to do that and get yourself in the play that you want.
Offense in a moment. First of all, some notes. Tyson Campbell was signing some autographs,
That's
so he was
good.
outside. That is a good sign.
He looked woozy yesterday when we saw him. We were right down there by the when he got kind of kicked in the head. And
he's in concussion protocol,
Yeah.
but at least he's outside and watching practice and signing some autographs. Brendan McManus back after being in Canton, Ohio, and it's picture day, say cheese, for the wideouts after practice. Got to remember these times, Dan.
Yeah. So what kind of day was it for the offense? The Jags pointing towards an opener in Indy, but trying to integrate a new right tackle, a new wide receiver 1, and new backup running back, a rookie tight end. Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber on an offense that has an arrow up.
Over the past few years, offenses in the NFL have become more and more proficient in putting up yards and putting up points. So when you say a number like 5,000 yards passing for a quarterback, it might not mean as much as, say, 4,000 yards did a few years ago. But for Trevor Lawrence, coming off a 4,100-yard season in his second year in the NFL, 5,000, well, it just doesn't matter unless the Jaguars are winning.
Every year you see passing records get shattered, how many guys are throwing for over 4,000, all that. So, I don't know that that's necessarily a big deal now, or a huge achievement, I guess I'd say. So it's certainly out there, but I think everybody's just doing what they can to win the game.
As a quarterback, that I feel confident and I can just go play free because I know what I want, I know what I like, and I know what my guys are good at.
At the end of the year, we don't care if Trevor throws for 5,000, 2,000, if we're in that last game of the year with an opportunity to win it all.
As the Jaguars prepare for their first preseason matchup of the year next weekend in Dallas, one note from Trevor Lawrence, number 16 wants to play. Now, he's not going to play extended periods, but he probably wants to go through that rhythm of getting ready for a game time in the NFL. For now, at the Miller Electric Center, Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jax.
Yeah, played a couple series last year in this game through 12 passes, so we'll see if he does the
I
same.
wouldn't play him, but I don't mind if he
I think
plays
they're going
a
to
little.
play him. Jags have a new receivers coach in Chad Hall, a young man with a lot of buzz around him. Doug Peterson got him from the Buffalo Bills this offseason. By the way, maybe not the most famous person in his family. Dan doing some deep research here. Sister is married to Matthew Stafford.
Wikipedia.
Chad went to deep research. Chad went to Air Force. Actually spent 10 days in 2014 with the Jaguars as a player before being released. His new boss, Press Taylor, likes what he sees from the intense young coach.
He was celebrating something on the sideline of a clip, and I said, finally we could see this on our sideline, because we've all watched this in Buffalo for years, of him running up and down. There's certain coaches that everybody across the league is used to seeing on sideline TV copies running up and down the sidelines. Chad's one of those. So now he's on our sideline, so hopefully that brings some value, some in-game energy to our group.
Something to watch coming up in the next few weeks. In 2007, by the way, when he was at Air Force, he rushed for a record 275 yards against Army. Big important game there.
He's not a big guy.
No.
But they say he's fantastic with the receivers.
Yeah,
and
cool.
He's got a heck of a group to work with right now. Throughout training camp, we were focused on some of the new young guys. We have plenty to pick from.
Yeah.
13 in the draft class. One guy turning heads on the defensive side of the ball and on special teams. 5th-round pick Antonio Johnson. Many people, Dan, thought he would go before the 5th round.
Yeah, a lot higher. He didn't, and he's been everything they could have hoped for. In fact, he's been singled out by the special teams coach, and there's no doubt he's also making his way as a defensive back for this Jaguars defense. Let's hear from the former Aggie, Texas A&M star Antonio Johnson.
Childhood dream of mine. Put in a lot of hard work to get here, and like I said earlier, I have a lot of good vets here that just keep me on task, and they're welcoming, and the team is young, and everybody's on the same goal, and I love to be on a team like this.
What's it mean to you to make some plays? We've seen a couple interceptions. I think maybe got in there for a sack today. I mean, those are splash plays. I know there's more to it, but is it important for you to do that to open up the eyes of the coaches?
We all out here trying to make the 53. Everybody giving their all every day, and I just feel like being in the right place, being just being humble, being a student of the game. All of that's taken into account, and then when we out here, you just got to make your plays, and they go into the preseason game as well.
You have position versatility from the college game, but you also have a lot of length. How big is the length in this game today, the way it's played?
I feel like my length is one of my biggest aspects. You see me in the nickel safety, like it's not a lot of DBs that's built like this that can go back and forth and play man coverage and just do the little things. So I take pride in what I do, and I also take pride in just like embracing my build.
Game week, I know you're not there yet totally mentally because you got another tough practice coming tomorrow, but have you thought about what it's going to be like to play the Dallas Cowboys on Saturday?
I'm looking forward to it. I've been away from like a game setting for a long time, so really just getting out there in the game setting and like I say, just prove myself, go out there, show the coaches, like keep showing them what I can do, but in the game situation, and really show my vets too, because like they're gonna be looking, they're gonna be watching, and I want to get their approval and get their trust. So when I'm out there with them during the regular season, that they can trust me.
What's this moment mean to your family to see you on the NFL stage?
It means a lot. It's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, long nights, sleepless nights. Man, I feel like, and they told me all the time, like they love me and like just keep being me and just keep being humble, because that's what got me here, and just keep being that kid that had a dream and keep achieving.
More on the Jaguars tomorrow and, well, every weekday night. 1st and 10. Training camp, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 will have you covered. Jags back at it in the morning.
Zay Jones always giving back today, hosting some area high school football players, including Alabama commit Jamie French, who plays for the Manor and Mustangs. After the practice, Jones spent some time taking pictures, talking ball with the young football players.
We can't wait to go get them, have them Longhorns come down in College Station, so we can saw them off real good.
Johnson says, bring it on, Texas. The Horns and Oklahoma Sooners joining the SEC next year. A lot of pride in their college teams for Jags players. Texas A&M for Antonio. Oh, my goodness, what have you done with college football? Is it good? Is it bad? If you like tradition, well, you probably hate it because tradition has just been thrown out the window. Welcome back to Action Sports Jax Primetime. I'm Brent Martineau along with Dan Hicken. Dan!
I don't think it's good when Washington's going to play Maryland instead of playing Washington State in the Apple Cup. But what do we know? The Pac-12 is dead. The Big 12 looks like it saved itself. The Big 10 is a lot more than 10. We could see the landscape of college football changing, but the flurry of activity this week felt unscheduled.
Yeah, this is the Big 10. Look, just how they drew it up decades ago, to your point. The money is so crazy that someone does think it's a good idea that Oregon and Washington will play against Rutgers.
Yeah.
Not just in football,
Well,
but in every sport.
That's the thing. Like, okay, so Patino said this on Twitter today. He said football should just become semi-pro with these schools because a baseball team is now going to travel from Washington to Happy Valley to play Penn State.
Amazing.
I mean, you got a softball Wednesday game. You can't schedule. You have to play team. I mean, it's insane.
Well, you just said it. I mean, really, it's going to get to a point where we separate football.
Yeah.
Like, we're going down that road,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we have to.
We have to. They're going to have to almost. It's almost going to be like little corporations. You know, like Gators Inc. Football.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
semi-pro. Just pay them and go.
There's so much money
Yeah.
in college football.
Yeah. Well, the greed, though. It's the greed. The greed has killed. You know, they opened Pandora's box, and I don't mind. Like, I'm not even talking about the NIL, but this is just greed of president. I mean, Stanford and Cal, maybe not the greatest football powers ever, but if you took Stanford's record the last 10 years, I think somebody compared it to Michigan's. They're like the same record.
The thing that concerns me is these were quick, hasty decisions in the last week.
Yeah.
These were not well thought out. I mean, there
No.
were certainly, these things have been talked about for a while, but these decisions were made fast. And when you make fast decisions, you're probably not always making the correct decision.
Good point.
We'll see where it ends up. We asked a couple of Jags about their thoughts on the college football world right now.
I still got friends and stuff that's in college, and just seeing all the changes, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like the Pac-12 is like almost non-existent anymore. Like it's a crazy situation.
My first say is it's just slightly unfortunate to see the Pac-12 kind of deteriorating as it is, but I understand that college football landscape's changed a lot since even I've left just a few years ago with NIL and conferences all merging into these super conferences, if you want to call them. So it's a changing and evolving game, and hopefully it's for the best, but. It is weird to see a major conference like that just kind of dissolving.
Well, it's happening. And what does this mean for Florida State? Because they really kind of kicked off this past week and got everybody's attention.
Well, really earlier this year, and then they really didn't get. They came out basically for the first time earlier this year, and they said, "Hey, wait a minute, we can't survive on this kind of money.
Yeah.
We should get paid more in the ACC." The ACC said, "Yeah, well, what can we do? Some incentive-laden stuff." And in the end, basically nothing's happened. So FSU came back out again when their board of trustees met and said, "Look, we're not going to be in this conference much longer."
Yeah,
so what happens to them?
Well,
now the Big Ten's full, isn't it? Or they keep adding. Florida doesn't want them in the SEC. They're going to come out and say no.
And a player in all this for FSU and the ACC potentially could be ESPN, really. I mean, this is all about media rights at the end of the day, because that's where so much of the chunk of money is coming from in the college game. It's unbelievable right now. Hey, year two is that time to make a jump in your NFL career. The Jacksonville Jaguars hoping that happens with both of their first-round picks from a year ago, Dan.
Yeah, we talked plenty about the number one overall pick, Trayvon Walker. But how about the guy the Jags coveted so much they traded back up into the first round to pick him up, Devin Lloyd?
Yeah, with a healthy camp in 2023, he's already a big step ahead of where it was a year ago, heading into year number 2 for number 33.
Feeling good, and everybody is really just more comfortable going in the defense the second year. Everybody knows where we're supposed to be. We're working off each other, and I personally feel a lot better,
That makes sense, obviously, right? Year two of anything, but what does it mean to feel comfortable with what they're calling, and then how you can translate that to your play?
Well, now I can think about how the offense is attacking me and where the rest of my guys are and fit off of them, in college. Late in my career, especially, I made so many plays just off of knowing where everyone is going to be and beating them to it, not being attacked by the offense, but almost attacking the offense.
Did you need to see yourself fit well early in camp at all to continue to give you that confidence, or did you kind of expect it based off what you did in the spring as well?
Yeah, I expected it even the end of last year. I really started to understand a little bit more, and I think it just goes back to the study habits and really just mastering everybody's responsibility, not just myself. And so, because things change all the time, and so really it's just mastering everybody else's responsibility as well. And then whenever you have the opportunity to come out on the field, obviously, every rep you take is just experience, and all experience is good.
When we sat down in April, you looked like a new man, a refreshed guy. How much has that paid off and even contributed to where you are mentally and physically?
Yes. I was definitely refreshed, getting time away from last year and just getting to reset. Really getting to look at things from a whole new perspective, getting to sit back, heal my body, recover my mind, and now going into this second year, like you said, I do feel so much different.
What do you see from a defense that has a lot of guys coming back in the same system and obviously plays with a lot of talent?
Well, I just get chills thinking about it, knowing all the big, physical, smart, fast people that we have on our defense and on the offense as well. I mean, we expect to be a top 5 defense. That's our mindset. We know that from last year to this year, it's going to be 2 different defenses.
Ooh, top 5?
We'll
Their
see.
top 5 defense. They're going to the Super Bowl.
You would think so. Hey, by the way, he's played very well in camp so far, Devin Lloyd. 1 year ago in August, we became familiar with Tim Jones, a wide receiver who fought his way onto the Jags' final roster, doing well again this year in camp. But according to the coaches, he's not alone. Another young receiver is also making some noise on the practice fields.
I see Kevin Austin a little bit flashing and doing some really good things. Obviously Tim Jones kind of picking up where he left off a year ago. But I think Kevin's been the one that has done a really nice job kind of embracing that second year, coming in, understanding what we're asking him to do and his role. And again, it's a big training camp for him and many of those guys.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out who the 6 would be if they keep 6. So.
If they keep 6.
Yeah.
They don't always keep 6.
They don't have to. So busy week this week.
Schedule for the week. Foye Oluokun will address the media tomorrow. We'll also catch up with a couple other players. Jags get a day off on Tuesday, and then the last practice for fans to attend, again, check out Jaguars.com, will be on Thursday. And we're off to Dallas, Texas on Friday. And, of course, you can watch all the preseason games right here with Action Sports Jax, CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Action Sports Jax Primetime, Saturday at 10:30 on Fox 30.